everyone, welcome to Inspire and Get Inspired. Today with me I have Colter Smith, who is a meditation and breathwork facilitator. He's a certified yoga instructor, a realtor, and also a ASU business graduate. For more than 15 years, he has been helping people reconnect with themselves through transformative practices that support healing, growth, and deep self-awareness. Today, we'll learn more about his journey. As we know, he wears many hats, but today we'll focus on his breathwork and meditation facilitating journey. But before I get started, I want to mention that I had the opportunity to attend his session about 2 years ago, and it was a very great experience in the sense I had never known what breathwork meant and also the power of breath. I mean, I think that's the first time I really felt it. And I feel very, very fortunate to have gone through that class because things changed for me in my life. And I had never imagined I would have Coulter here with me today, like speaking. So thank you for agreeing to do this. But so, yeah, let's get started. Do you want to kind of talk about how you got into this journey? Like, what was your calling?
Well, first off, thanks for making me feel so special. I appreciate that so much. Yes, and great intro. Appreciate that. Yeah, I am you could call it a seeker. You could call it somebody that's looking for more. And for the last 20 years or so, for sure, just trying to expand mind, expand consciousness, trying to understand the nature of reality and how to be a better human, how to have more energy, how to access different states of awareness. And it's an obsession. It's an absolute obsession. It's almost never ending. I'm kind of the person that gets on those rabbit holes that you're learning about the weird and wacky, then you're learning about quantum physics, then you're learning about the power of meditation, mindset, self-improvement, and I've gone through phases, but yeah, I love facilitating transformation and growth. And I have I guess you'd call it a goal in life, or a theme is I want to awaken myself and help others do the same. And whatever that means, it could be many ways of opening up the mind, opening up your heart, opening up to more healing or love. There's many ways. So I personally love holding and facilitating space to create that transformation. I mainly do it through immersive breathwork and sound experiences because, as you said, the breath is extremely powerful and it can create so many experiences. Like, there's so many. We always say 10 times 10 different experiences. It expands your awareness. It makes you feel life force energy like you could never imagine if you never felt it before, like you said. And it can allow insights and intuition. It can be psychedelic in some ways for some, and it can be, we call it in the breathwork world, like transpersonal, meaning beyond the ordinary states of awareness. That's super powerful. And you don't have to do anything except just breathe. So
Yeah.
my obsession is to help people understand, discover, remember themselves, remember sometimes like life purposes and why they're here. I love to think that we already have the answers. We just kind of we have to get out of our own way. And I hold the space for that to happen, and I absolutely love it. I love it a lot.
And I've noticed like a lot of people that come in, they release something. Like sometimes people are crying, that whole experience, right? So based on that, like, do you have any stories like somebody may have shared with you, like how it transformed their lives? Because when I come there, like I've come like multiple times, and every time, people are going through, I don't know, life, through life, I would say, and there's so much release happening. And I was always interested, like, has anybody ever shared a story with you that you might have
I have
changed their
hundreds, hundreds and hundreds. And the best part about holding space, especially if we have a lot of time to have everyone share, you get to hear the experiences. So it's cathartic, somatic of the body, emotional purging, because you've held on to something for so long and you maybe haven't gone through the grief of it. There's other people that are unbelievably elated, meaning they're feeling everything. They're feeling this floating boundless energy, because you're going into this either deeper state of conscious awareness, or you're just flooding your body with so much oxygen and life force, and CO2 is moving, and you're pumping your lymph system. You just feel better. And then you have what I like the best is the transcendent experiences. So those are the ones where they tap into different realities. They talk to / experience things that are in the unseen, and I just absolutely love that. So there's hundreds of stories with that. People connecting and saying their goodbyes or their peace to people that have crossed over. There's the full-blown psychedelic experience where you're seeing lights and colors and energies and fractals and geometry, and people are going, wow, like, what is this? And then you have the ones that, maybe it might be more subtle, but they're just realizing, wow, I can change my state of awareness, my body frequency, just with breath and mindset. Well, then I'm just happier, I'm calmer, I'm healthier. And it's like a cascading wave. Some lady came to me a week or two ago, and she'd come twice, and she goes, I'm addicted. Like, I am absolutely addicted, because it's a high like no other. There's a famous breathwork guy, Wim Hof, he says, get high off your own supply. So I like that, but hundreds of stories, like so many that are truly mind-blowing. Not everyone has transcendent experiences all the time. There's a flow to things, and sometimes you have it right away, sometimes it takes a while, or you name it, but you always receive something, whether it's the physical benefits, the mental and all that. I call it a vibrational reset, or an energetic reset, deep nervous system regulation, deep grounding, a lot of times, of finally being present and finally being the body, because there's a lot of science behind it too, of how the brainwaves change and alkalinity and all that. But basically, you just lie down, you breathe, and magic happens all the time, and I love it.
Every time I came, my mental state was different. So my experience was always different. It was not the same experience for me. Plus, you do like variety, right? You have one which is like death, life after death. I think that
Die before you die. It's a
die before you
shamanic.
die. Yes,
Yeah.
that, and then you also include the cacao ceremony with the breath work. What else do you do?
Well, I'd like to basically keep a format that's always breathwork and music, but it's different themes, different styles, different energies of it. So the shamanic styles that are really intense, there's a massive amount of drumming and shakers and getting people to really, really feel. We did a retreat this last weekend, and it was 20, 30 minutes of crying, yelling, whoa, wild purges, and because people need to get it out.
Right.
And then there's others that are more lighter. They're more of the ethereal realm. And I've done a little over, I think, 800 classes now. And yeah, it's wild. But a lot of the classes will dictate the flow. So some are lighter, some are more uplifting. It just kind of depends on the group energy. But we have, I like the ethereal energy of it. And what I mean by that is we make it a journey. We make it a flow. There's lots of different breathwork styles, and telling you when to hold, talking all the time, you name it. For the most part, I guide for 20, 30 minutes, get us in this peak state, and then we find a rhythm and we flow. That's up to you. What it does is it puts us in those natural brainwave states, the alpha and the theta, to go into like dream world and higher awareness, and we shut off the left brain analytical, call it the beta wave or the default mode network. Once again, a lot of science behind this, but it goes into a flow state, and time doesn't exist the way it does. It's relativity, and people will feel and experience the transcendent energy states that maybe they've never felt before, or they tried to meditate for 10 years and they never got there. That's why I like breathwork, because I say this all the time. It's truly, in my opinion, the most powerful thing you can do in such a short amount of time that doesn't require anything but your breath.
And the benefits are immense, right? I mean, we talked about the trauma healing, but is there more benefits to this?
Big time. It's literally never ending. There's a lot of other teachers and coaches in the world that they say, a year's worth of therapy in one session or whatever, like that type of thing. I don't really go there, but it's everlasting in the sense of we're layered. And so one day you might come and you're crying and purging because you had a breakup and you never fully grieved it. The next time you're coming and you're like, I just want to feel peace. I haven't felt peace forever or for a long time. And you get to a state of peace. The next is like, all of a sudden your heart opens. And you're like, whoa, this is what people talk about being in the heart. It's like, I've never been out of my head. And then the next time you're going in and you have the transcendent space of going beyond the conscious awareness of the physical body. That in itself is super trippy and super fun, and that can rock people. Sometimes they're not fully aware or ready for it, I mean, but it's always this like, wow, what the heck was that? So we're talking about going back to awakening myself and help others do the same. You're awakening to a greater sense of self or greater sense of reality, and the benefits truly are never ending. And I say this like seriously, and you could every time find something different, find something to purge, something to let go, something to bring in, and then just physically it feels really, really, really good. I did 50 minutes of breath work this morning and I'm like, this is awesome, you know.
So for beginners, like which class would you recommend? Because you have different classes, you host it in different, like you have some in Scottsdale, like what are your locations?
There's a new studio in Scottsdale. There's two studios in Tempe that I do. Those are the trifecta kind of, and then I partner with other people and do spaces and events here and there. It just kind of depends. Their businesses and whatnot. Usually those three, and then sometimes in some Phoenix areas. But yeah, they're all kind of different. Same but different. So I have different playlists, different flows. For the most part, they're all encompassing, meaning you could be a beginner or an expert and it's still gonna rock you in a good way. And the cool part about the way I teach and flow is it's your own tempo, your own flow. So we're not making you do anything. You actually find the rhythm of your own frequency. You know, breath work is breath work, so you got to get out of your comfort zone a little bit. But each time is different. Playlists can change, but you always get that ride of emotions, flow, you name it. Now you can block yourself and be in your mind and your ego and struggle. That does happen. Breathwork can be very triggering to some, but it teaches you what you need to work on. So it's always good for you.
That's true. That's true. So if people wanted to kind of get in touch with you, right? I know you have a Facebook site, but do you have any other ways that people can connect with you to find out about your classes?
Great question. Easiest and simplest is socials. But Facebook and Instagram is, bio links, has everything. I post a lot on Eventbrite, and I post on tons of Facebook groups, and I have a meetup group, and then other people help post as well through their studios. But, you just follow usually through socials, and if you come to a class, I'll put you on a newsletter, and then you'll get all that stuff too as well.
I want to mention that I'm very, very excited to be able to collaborate with Colter. This is going to be one of my first ones, but we're going to be hosting one event in July. If you have not tried this breath work, I would really, really encourage you to come and participate. Colter is very cool. Nobody gets intimidated. Everybody's accepted. And it's just you and your space and your breath, right? That's about it. And his magic, because the drumming is like awesome. I have never heard drumming like that before. So, the experience is going to be out of this world, I would say. So that's one thing I wanted to bring up as well. Do you have anything else you want to add, Colton?
I would just add that, a lot of times people say, well, who is this for? What is this for? We already about what it's for, and even more than that, but who it's for is for anyone looking to connect deeper to themselves, to potentially have a profound experience, to awaken dormant mindsets and things that they might not even know about, because breathwork can be so activating, and to be willing to be in the magic. It's literally just breathing, but at the same time it's a whole process. I call it into your infinite self. because of the layers of the mind, body, spirit. A lot of people come for the spiritual aspects of the greater connection. I call it God mode. People go into God mode and they're like, what is going on? You know, that can happen, you know, and regardless of beliefs, that can happen. Or you're going deep into your heart and your psyche. So open to anyone. Breathwork can be intimidating to a point, but you just flow and you feel. Everyone will have a good time in some capacity.
Because I have some friends say, I'm scared. And I'm like, what are you scared about? Like, it's just breathing. But yeah, we don't know what they are thinking, right? So that was very good that you clarified.
It's
But
okay to be scared, but at the same time, try something new, try
yeah,
something fun.
yeah. And he's the right guy to do it with. That's my, observation because it's very easy to be in the space that you hold. It's very comfortable.
Thank you, my friend.